What's up everybody, I'm Jay.
I'm Chan.
And today we're back with another video. We're doing an assumptions about our interracial relationships video.
Yes, so we posted on both of our Instagrams and asked you guys for questions or assumptions about interracial relationships, and I feel like we got some really good ones and also some frequently asked questions. We also wanted to thank you guys for going crazy on our last video. If you missed it, I did a prank on Jayden for the first time, and I feel like I got you pretty good.
I'm not gonna lie, you did, okay? But you're not just gonna slide with that. Like, I'm gonna get you back.
I don't know about that.
No, I know about all that, so it's coming.
So I know we have some more subscribers that came from our last video, so if you're new, welcome to our channel. We're so glad that you're here with us.
Why did I do this?
What?
I did this. I don't know what that means. Yeah, and we just wanted to say a little disclaimer that all these questions and assumptions that we are answering are just about our interracial relationship. You know, every relationship is different. Everyone goes through different experiences and stuff, but this is just about us.
Yeah.
Okay, so this person asked a question, and it was, how was it telling your parents? Okay, so Channing met my mom first. My mom's white, so there's nothing there. She met my dad next,
Yeah.
and he is black. But there was never anything that I was worried about. Listen, my dad had me with my mom, who's white, right? So if he gonna have a baby by a white woman, how's he gonna be mad when his son brings one home? You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, there was nothing there, you know. I was never worried about anything. So that's my side of things. What about you?
So when I first saw this question, I like stopped and thought about it, because I was like, I never told my parents. It was just like, hey, I like this guy named Jayden, can he come over? And they're like, yeah, and then he came, and they were like, hi Jayden, and then they fell in love with him, and now they love him more than me. And so there was no really like telling my parents. My parents and my family have always been accepting of him and never viewed him differently, so thankfully we didn't have to deal with that. I know a lot of interracial relationships do have to deal with that, and that sucks. I can't believe that happens in 2021, but it does. So there was never a conversation about it. It was just like, this is my boyfriend, and they're like, okay, we love him. Right. That's it.
And we're really, you know, blessed.
We are blessed, yes. All right, so the next assumption we got is everyone is telling you how cute your babies are gonna be, and you assumed right.
Yeah, we hear that all the time.
We do get that a lot. So I kind of feel like two ways about that when people say that, because a part of me is like, you know, that's really flattering, like, thank you.
Right, everyone wants to hear that.
Yeah, but then the other part of me is like, would that person have said that if we were the same race?
I hear that. I hear that because I know that there's like, kind of like an infatuation with mixed babies. You know, they're like...
It's unhealthy.
I feel like it is, because a lot of people, you know, like their curly hair and like their caramel skin. And
with like light eyes.
With light eyes, and it's like they think that's cute, and
it is.
Thank you. It's a compliment to me because I'm mixed. I don't know, it's just weird because it's like people have an infatuation with how cute mixed babies are, right? But like, where's the infatuation with black rights? So it's just one of those things where it's like, where are your priorities at? And
like he said, there is an unhealthy like obsession with mixed babies, and to the point where I personally know someone, a white woman, who told me straight up that her goal was to have a mixed baby one day, and I just think that just feels like gross to me.
It feels like breeding, bro. Like that's just that's fricked up.
Yeah, I don't like that. So like, yes, it is a compliment, but it kind of, I don't know, it makes me feel kind of weird.
Yeah, but I do want to say too, it's not a bad thing to just say that, you know, you think we'd have cute babies. That is a compliment, but sometimes we have to question the motives of it because there is that other side of it. All right, so this assumption says, finding good lighting for both of y'all in pictures is a constant battle.
Did your voice just crack?
It did. I was hoping you weren't gonna say anything, but it did.
I would say this assumption is kind of true. It's like half true, half false, because...
I think it's true.
Really?
Yeah.
For me, like, when we take a photo, I don't feel like the lighting is hard to get right, but editing the photo, it is hard to get right. Okay. Especially, like, I like to use presets on photos sometimes, and unfortunately presets are usually made for like just one skin tone, and so
I get that. It's
hard. Like, I feel like a lot of the presets, either I look completely washed out, I look like a ghost, or it makes his skin look too orange, and so it's hard to find an edit that works for both of us, so that part is hard.
Yeah, I get that. I don't edit a lot of pictures. I don't use presets, really.
Yeah.
So, but I get that.
All right, so we have a question. Do people treat Jayden differently than you while in public? Love y'all. We love you too.
We love you so much.
Thank you.
I mean, I guess I'll answer that. I don't feel like I get treated any type of way. I mean, there's one story that I can think of, and that was whenever I was going to school in New Hampshire. We were at a Subway or whatever, and the guy taking our order treated me really like dog crap. I mean, that's the only way I can describe it. Channing and her mom went before me. You know, he was fine, he was cool. Came to me, I felt the vibe shift. You know what I'm saying? He was being pretty rude, and you know, I don't know what it was, but I felt definitely that he was treating me differently, and maybe that was because of my skin color, but that's the only story that I can think of.
Yeah, I mean, in that instance, it was very obvious, and it was really upsetting, and I'm really thankful that we've never had an experience like that again.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I've experienced some racism in my life, but not because I'm dating a white woman or not when I'm with Channing, you know, so not like that.
So another assumption we got is, how will you incorporate each other's beliefs or cultures, if that makes sense? And I feel like that definitely makes sense. And so for me, on my end, I feel like, you know, we already share a race. He is half white, so there's nothing for me to really like share with him, because we share that culture and that race. So it's really more just like him sharing his black culture with me.
Right. I feel like you've done a great job of that, you know? You're really always open to learning, and you don't get offended if I let you know that, you know, I don't think you should say something or something, you know, along those lines. So the question is, how do we incorporate that, right? And I feel like the answer to that is just be open to learning. That's one thing I can say about Channing. She's always open to learn, and she's always asking me questions. You know, she actively wants to learn. It's not one of those things where it's like, let's say you are a white person dating or married to a black person. It's not one of those things where you should just expect that person to teach you. You know, you have to actively ask and want to learn, and that's one thing you've done really, really well, and I really love that about you.
I think it's just about being open-minded, and I think it's so cool that people in interracial relationships get to experience a different culture other than theirs, and actively like be
immersed in it.
Yeah, immersed in it, that's the word. And when you're dating someone and love someone that has a different culture than you, you know, that's important to them.
Very.
So therefore it's important to me. And so, you know, like you said, ask questions, be open-minded, do your own homework.
Yes.
It's not just his job, it's my job too.
Right. 100%. And like the fact that we want to be married and have children, that's going to be another thing where we're going to have to, you know, raise children that are also going to be mixed, and, you know, meld those cultures together. You know, so that's one thing we'll have to figure out when we do have kids in the future. But, you know, again, it's just going to come down to asking questions, being flexible, being open-minded, and, you know, if you love someone, it's really not that hard.
No.
You mix the cultures, and y'all just become one.
Yeah.
Okay, so this assumption says y'all get judged a lot, unfortunately. How do you feel about that?
My first reaction to this would be no. Where we live, I don't feel a lot of judgment from people. We've never had like an encounter in public where someone said something to us. So I feel like if people are judging us, then we don't know that they are, and they don't say anything.
Which is possible, I guess.
Yeah, but like I've never noticed that. That's how I feel. How do you feel?
I mean, the only thing I can say, I mean, first of all, I agree. I don't feel like we get judged a lot. The only thing I could say is maybe when we first started dating, I felt a little more eyes.
Like people
in
staring?
public.
Okay.
And, you know, maybe that's just me making that up. Maybe it's not. But like I said, that's, you know, it's been 6 years ago now. You know, we've been dating for that long.
Yeah.
But no, I really don't feel that way.
Yeah. Thankfully, you assumed wrong.
All right, so this assumption says people assume Jayden doesn't find black girls attractive. So they're saying that people think that about me. And, you know, I can't say whether or not that's true because I don't know what people assume about me, but I could see why they think that because I am with a white woman. So I understand that assumption. I don't know if it's true.
I think it's true.
You really think people think that?
Yeah, I think people assume that about you.
You do?
Yeah.
But why?
I think, at least from what I've seen on social media and Twitter and stuff, is that a lot of people assume that if a black man isn't with a black woman that they don't find them attractive.
I get that.
That's just what I'm seeing. So I think that people do assume that about you.
Yeah, I mean, I get why people would think that or could think that, but that's just not true. You know, obviously I am with a white woman, but I find all races of women attractive. Literally, I've dated many races of women, and yeah, it's just not true. How
I see it is like, for example, if red starbursts are your favorite, that doesn't mean that you automatically hate pink starbursts and the yellow starburst. No one likes the orange starburst, so.
I know people that's their favorite, actually.
Okay. I don't know those people.
I mean, I get that. Yeah, for sure. I get
but like,
that.
that's just how I see it. Like, just because you're with this person doesn't mean you automatically don't like any of these other races. It just happened to be with a white woman.
And I feel like that assumption is unfair to a lot of black men a lot of times.
Yeah. So we got several questions kind of asking the same thing, so I'm just gonna combine them all in one. And that question basically was, what did your families think? What were your family's reactions? I know some people are saying that they've struggled with some family opinions, and that's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that you're having to go through that, because I can only imagine what that feels like. Thankfully, we haven't had a lot of like pushback from family or comments that were blatantly racist.
Yes.
There have been comments from some family members that, you know, maybe you shouldn't say that. You definitely shouldn't say that.
Right, and in those situations, they probably didn't mean anything by it.
Yeah.
They didn't mean to be racist in any ways. It's just one of those things where it's like, they didn't know. They were uneducated. And I feel like that's gonna happen a lot of times, especially when in an interracial relationship. Because, you know, in the past especially, groups didn't mix a lot, you know? So if there's this one family and they're all this one race, they're used to being around each other, and you know, they know what they can say around each other. But if you have another person that comes into that group and they're not used to their race, or you know, those kind of things, especially with older family members, they may say things that just aren't okay to say, but you know, they don't know.
There's no like bad intentions behind it.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, you have to, I feel like you have to weigh the balance of like, how much do I gain from calling out this family member, you know, and like causing a rift and everything, or how much would it be beneficial to really educate that person, you know, moving forward. So it hasn't been that serious where we've really had to like, you know, have a whole commotion.
There's never been like a huge argument or anything like that. But there are just some comments here and there that aren't fun to hear. But thankfully, Jayden's dad's side of his family, and his mom's side too, but they've always been so accepting of me, never made me feel like I was different than them. I love being around them. We get to see them soon. I'm so excited. They don't live around here, so we don't get to see them as often. But when we do see them, we just get along, and I've never had a problem with them.
You're part of the family, legitimately.
I just love them.
That's it.
I love them.
They love you so much. And yeah, likewise. I mean, Channing's family has, you know, been very loving and accepting to me as well. I love them so much. They've made me feel literally like one of their own. They've done so much for me, and just been a blessing. So I'm really glad that we do have good families in that sense, because I know some people do not have that luxury, and it's and it's something that we don't take for granted. And
I'm so excited for our wedding, when our families get to finally meet all of each other and just
That's
mingle,
gonna be sick.
and our families becoming one. Like, I just can't wait for that moment.
That's gonna be so sick.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for all of the assumptions and questions that you submitted on our Instagram. If you did that, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much. We appreciate all the support and all the interaction. And if you guys do want to know the best way to help us, always comment on the videos, like them, subscribe to us, turn on post notifications. That helps the algorithm so much. It helps us find new family members, so we can all just be one big old family. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Stay tuned for more content. Peace.
Bye.
Let's do a screen where it's like, all right, without further ado, let's get right into the video or something.
So cheesy. I don't want to do that.
Okay.
Let's just jump into it.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's good. All right, what's the next one you wanted to do?
Oh, slide.
We noticed at the same time. Jinx! You owe me a Sprite! We're so on the same page. So this assumption says...
We're blurry.
Why is it doing that? Stop that.
There we go.
We did it! Jayden, that's like really scary. Please don't do that again. I'm gonna go eat. I'm hungry. Where's it?